Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Louisville Metro Hall. I'm going to first provide an update on some information regarding the UPS crash, and then we're going to be talking about some other items. Excuse me, one second. So yesterday and the night before, certainly there's been a long 36 hours for our city, 36 hours of tragedy, 36 hours of heroism and hard work by our first responders, 36 hours of our city once again coming together and showing our strength in these challenging times. The updates are that as of right now, 12 individuals have been located who have died in the crash. Their bodies have been removed from the scene by the coroner, and they are currently working on identifying each of those 12 victims. The number of missing that we have tracked through our Family Assistance Center that LMPD has been operating since right after the crash is down to 9. I had previously reported that there were 15 individuals that had been reported as missing. We have located 6 of those individuals over the last 24 hours, and so we're now down to 9 that are missing. If you do the math, we may have located all of the victims. There may be more that have not yet been reported, and so I would ask if there are families that are still out there that are wondering about someone who may be missing, please call immediately. Please call 800-631-0604. That would be incredibly helpful information if there are still individuals who you have not heard from and you think may have been around the crash site. Our hope is that we have located all of the victims at this point, but again, we do not know. The search will continue. The teams will be out there searching through the debris now in what's called a delayering search in coordination with the NTSB and their investigation about the crash. There will also be individuals that will be looking underneath. There's so much debris there. There is so much charred, mangled metal that not all of the bodies may have been located until you look underneath certain things. And so that is going through the various layers of debris on the field. That will begin now. Everything to date has been just looking at what can be seen without moving debris. NTSB, as they reported yesterday, has identified and located the black box on the voice recorder, and that should be incredibly helpful, assisting with their investigation. And also Jody Myman, our Director of Emergency Management Services, he and members of his team are in close coordination and communication with the NTSB, staying up to date on their search and anything that we can do to assist them with their investigation and communications. We've talked a lot about first responders over the past few days and the amazing work that they did. I want to give a special shout out to one agency, and that is our Muhammad Ali Louisville International Airport Department of Public Safety. At the airport, you may or may not know, but there is a Department of Public Safety just for the airport, fire, EMS, and police, all in one department, led by Chief Josh Grimes. They responded immediately just because of their proximity on the airport. They were the very first responders on the scene that drove through the fences, past the airport boundaries, to immediately begin the first response to the crash and the immediate aftermath. They've had to deal with a lot since then, and I want to give a special thanks to all of the public safety professionals that work for our airport. Thank you all so much. Speaking of the airport, there are 2 runways that are now open at the airport. That is one more than yesterday. There's still one runway that the NTSB is still connected to their investigation. answer a few other questions that we've been getting from members of the community. which are not yet full answers, but this is the best that we have at the time. I know there's still folks that don't have power for some of the businesses that are located near the crash site. LG&E is on site right now, and they are seeing what they can do to get power turned back on. The NTSB will be releasing buildings as they identify properties that they either have recovered the debris from or are not directly pertinent to the investigation. And it's safe that LG&E will be restoring power throughout this process. Yesterday, when I was out at the crash site, there were wires everywhere that had come down as a result of the crash. Wires on the street, wires on property. And so we need to, again, put public safety and people's safety at the top of the list. And so they will be getting the power back on as safely as they can. Also, there are still some roads that are closed, Grade Lane and Crittenden Drive. Again, we will be working to reopen those as quickly as we can with safety as the top priority. So we're looking at a plan for doing that. And for the businesses that are located along Grade Lane, we are making contact with those businesses, and there will be escorted access opportunities for business owners to survey their property if there's anything that they need until such time as their full access is restored as the roads are open. And my final report before we'll take questions, and then we'll go into the second part of our briefing. But the final thing is just extending an invitation. There's a vigil tonight at the Teamsters local headquarters here in Louisville, and they have invited the entire community to come out to that vigil to be together during these times. And that's something that I think is very helpful for the entire community, is to come together, to share our sorrow, share our heartbreak, to say some prayers for the victims and the families that we lost in this tragedy, and to find strength to keep moving forward individually, as families, and as a community.